depends. Here's what they put together. Sally tends to be the head of HR. She's married, has 2 children, and has been at the same company for many years. She tends to be female and around the age of 40 to 45. She has a very calm demeanor and typically has an assistant screening her calls. Her goals are to keep employees happy and turnover low. She also has to support the legal and finance teams. Some common challenges she runs into are getting everything done with a small staff and rolling out big changes to the entire company. So what about solutions? Well, HR Blast can best help Sample Sally by making it easy for her to manage all of the employee data in one place and integrate with her current legal and finance systems. The company should be prepared for the common objections that she typically has, such as worrying about losing data when moving over to a new system. And she doesn't want to have to train the entire company on how to use it. After interviewing a few current customers, they were able to pull real quotes to use for Sample Sally. Like, it's been difficult getting company-wide adoption of new technologies in the past. And I've had to deal with so many painful integrations with other departments' databases and software. These quotes can make it easier for one of HR Blast's employees to identify if they might be speaking or emailing with Sample Sally. These personas give you a really clear idea of exactly who these potential customers might be. What are they interested in? What are they dealing with? And what are they working towards? But when it comes to creating a great inbound strategy, it's not enough to know just who you're trying to reach. You also have to know what they want to see. And who are buyer personas right for? Is it B2B, B2C, or nonprofit? Bottom of the funnel, the buyer's journey is made up of 3 stages: the awareness stage, the consideration stage, and the decision stage that portray the experiences your potential customers go through. The awareness stage is when your prospect is experiencing and expressing symptoms of a problem or opportunity. They're doing education research to more clearly understand, frame, and give a name to their problem. The consideration stage is when a prospect has now clearly defined and given a name to their problem or opportunity. They are committed to researching and understanding all of the available approaches and/or methods to solving the defined problem or opportunity. The decision stage is when a prospect has now decided on their solution strategy, method, or approach. They are compiling a long list of all available vendors and products in their given solution strategy. They could also be researching to whittle down that long list, down to a short list, and ultimately making a final purchase decision. Website visitors might come to your website for the first time in any of the different buyer's journey stages, but you need to have content prepared for each and every stage. Here's a real-life example of the buyer's journey. Ever been sick before? Yes, I'm sure you have. Remember that feeling of being ill, but you're not really sure what you might have? In the awareness stage, you're experiencing symptoms or having a problem. In this case, you feel like you have a sore throat, a fever, and you're achy all over. You ask, what's wrong with me? In the consideration stage, that's when you've given a name to your problem and now needing to figure out your options. You realize, aha, I have strep throat. But what are my options for relieving or curing my symptoms? That's where the decision stage comes in. This is when you decide on your approach to solve the problem. If you have strep throat, you could see a primary care physician, go to the emergency room, or go to a clinic. You might decide that the emergency room costs a lot, but I'm insured and could go with that option. That's how one could go through the buyer's journey. It's from the buyer's perspective. But imagine you as the marketer, or in this case, the doctor. Doctors will typically listen to your symptoms, provide options for you to get better, and prescribe your solution. But what if you went into a doctor's office and they paid no attention to your symptoms and just gave you some sort of medication immediately? Not a pleasant experience. That's what can often happen with website content. Rather than creating content that covers your buyer persona's problems and potential solutions, we jump to explaining our products or our services and why they're the best option. Feel good about the buyer's journey? Let's test your knowledge because the buyer's journey comes up a lot when it comes to inbound. If you were to create a blog post about your product or service, where would it fall into the buyer's journey? Would it be A, awareness stage, B, consideration stage, or C, decision stage? Take 5 seconds to think this over. Your product or service will most likely help solve your persona's problems, but that doesn't make this blog post awareness stage. Your product and service will be some form of solution, but in this case, your blog post is talking all about you. So this would be a decision stage piece of content. But here's the thing. Blog posts aren't really for the decision stage. A bit of a trick question. When you're creating content, specifically blog posts, keep it educational. Not educating them on who you are and what you do, but educating them on their problems and solutions. It's the inbound way, a way to build trust. Once you understand your buyer personas and their buying journey, it's time to start doing inbound marketing. Inbound marketing can't exist without content. And that's why the third best practice is to create